Hey everybody, I'm Mackenzie,
Hey, I'm Christy.
I'm April.
and this week we're talking about chapter 1 and chapter 2 from the book, and that's about creativity and the creative teacher. And so to start off, I'm just going to define creativity for us. And in the book, it says creativity is the ability to think in unique ways, produce unusual ideas, or combine things in different ways. Um, and so I just really think that creativity is extremely important. And in the book, it lists some of the benefits of creativity and why it's so important. Um, and one of these is that it provides a way for children to express meaning. And so through creativity and forms of art and movement and music, children can get out their feelings and their emotions, and they can really learn to express themselves. And it can be like a big relief for them. And then another importance is that it helps children to think in unique ways. So through different forms of creativity, they can use their senses, like sight, smell, touch, taste, hear. And they also experience movement and different types of movement and with creativity. Um, and then the last important reason we should have creative arts is that it can improve the quality of experiences by appreciating aesthetics. And so that's just like the visual appearances and as aesthetics, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that. Um, but then one way that I've seen creativity, in my experience, with my practicum, is in our writing workshop every day. Students get to draw about their ideas or feelings or their experiences, and then they get to write a sentence about it. And so it's combining writing and creativity. And the teacher does a really good job of appreciating and discussing every student's writing and what they've written about. And she makes them feel like it's important no matter their ability or what they've written and drawn about for the day.
So there's kind of a similar thing going on in my practicum. Like when the kids come in the morning, they have a paper, they can draw their names or draw a picture of them in the mornings or a picture of whatever they want. So I feel like that's their kind of creative exercise for the morning time. But now I'm going to talk about the creative process. And the creative process is a creative act and the methods or procedures used. And so the four components of the creative process are originality, fluency, flexibility, and elaboration. So with those four components, it's just gonna increase the creativity in the classroom. And one important thing about the creative process is that there's no finished product. So you can always add something. Kids can always have a new idea to add. And so in my practicum, if a student's finished with their activity of their cutting and drawing and stuff, our teacher will say, add some details, like draw the grass, draw the sun, or just, you can always add something else to it. And lastly, the four steps of the creative process are preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. So it just starts from preparation, preparing your creative juices, and then letting them sit and figuring out what you're gonna do, and then make it happen. And then at the end, just feeling good about what you did.
So the second chapter focuses more on the creative teacher and the teacher's role in incorporating creativity in her class. And some characteristics are willingness to try new ideas, flexibility, appreciation of beautiful things, and concern about children's feelings. And as Mackenzie mentioned, that if the teacher takes the time to acknowledge the student's work, and I think that's important because we always want to make sure like our kids are like confident in whatever they're like doing, whether it's like art or math and science, and that only comes from like the teacher's role and like how well they like compliment them and just like encourage them to like keep doing their best. And like, you know, like not everyone is gonna be the best artist. Like I know I'm not, so just being like knowing that you're whatever you do is like your best is fine. And in the chapter, it talks about like the Reggio Emilia approach, and the quote that we had was, or like a definition, I guess, is like children, families, and teachers work together to make school a democratic learning environment. And I think basically it's more like listening to like the kids and like what they're interested in and how they want to use like different materials in their activities. And so there's a lot of creativity in that, and like the teacher can do a lot with different materials. Yeah, I think just being a teacher that's like willing to try different things and incorporate new ideas is good for the learning environment and their kids.
So yeah, I guess that's all we have to say about creativity. Unless you want to add anything else. You want to add anything?
I'll say something.
Okay.
I'm just excited to use these like things that we've learned about creativity in my future classroom. And I hope everybody else has learned something that they can implement in the future too.
All right, bye.